Hey friends, today we've got something really special on the channel. Just imagine if South Park decided to break down the latest issue of Harper's Bazaar with Meghan Markle on the cover. This issue features a brand new interview with the Duchess and a whole bunch of her, let's just call them interesting photos. Our favorite troublemakers from Colorado, Stan, Kyle, Cartman, and Kenny, simply couldn't let a sensation like this slide. So, let's dive in. It's going to be funny, biting, and I'm afraid painfully true, especially for Meghan. So, the episode kicks off in the South Park schoolyard. The wind is freezing, snow is crunching underfoot, and the guys are huddled around a tattered magazine that Cartman, naturally, has already managed to borrow from the teacher's lounge. "Wait a minute, guys," says Kyle, flipping through Meghan's interview with the look of a seasoned royal expert. "Is she spouting all this crap again? Is she seriously talking about writing a new chapter in her life again?" And sure enough, inside the magazine, Meghan is playing her favorite broken record. For example, for the 100th time, she talks about how she was wise beyond her years, like an old soul trapped in a child's body. "I was always the nerd, the smartest in the class, the one who understood everything," she shares, diligently painting a picture of the perfect straight-A student who apparently knew how the world worked right from the cradle. And of course, where would we be without the legendary Procter & Gamble story? That is a true classic of the genre at this point. Meghan recalls, yet again, how at 11 years old she saw a sexist dish soap commercial, got outraged, wrote an angry letter to the company, and they were allegedly so terrified of a little girl's wrath that they immediately changed the slogan. This story's been bouncing from interview to interview for years, like it's the only proof of her eternal heroic fight for justice. Cartman rolls his eyes and snaps, "Dude, I risked my fat ass to steal this magazine and it's just total deja vu. I fight for justice. I change the world. Blah, blah, blah." If she were a superhero, her superpower would be repeating old stories until the villains die of boredom. And suddenly he freezes. His face starts slowly turning purple, either from excitement or rage, you never know with him. Buried in all that sleep-inducing drivel, he finds a line that makes even his own stunts look like innocent child's play. The article's author, Caitlin Greenidge, completely deadpan, reports that every time Meghan enters a room, someone absolutely must announce her, the Duchess of Sussex. Loudly, solemnly, with pomp. And we're not talking about a reception at Buckingham Palace. This little ritual plays out in the most ordinary places. Here's an example. Meghan shows up for a dig at the Natural History Museum in Los Angeles. There are girls from a local school waiting there. They're just standing around, unsuspecting. And suddenly, a guy in a suit jumps out in front of them and, in all seriousness, bellows, "Attention! The Duchess of Sussex!" Apparently, someone decided that 11-year-old schoolgirls are obligated to faint from sheer awe. But it gets even funnier. Greenidge writes that this circus continues even behind closed doors. Picture this, a luxurious mansion in New York where they went to continue the interview. When I walked in, the house manager announced, "Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex," even though it seemed like there was no one else in the house but the two of us, the journalist recounts. At this point, even rational Kyle loses it. Wait a minute. She spent years whining about how titles were suffocating her. She wanted to be just Meghan, baking bread and saving chickens. And now she can't even walk into an empty room without a herald? Cartman just snorts and delivers his signature verdict. "You guys just don't get it. That's not protocol. That's her ego. It's gotten so fat it has its own press secretary now. The ego walks in first, to fanfare, takes up all the chairs, and Meghan walks in after, just to check if the furniture bowed low enough. But reading all that boring crap gets old fast. Cartman, who can't stand too many words, starts yelling that his brain is about to melt from boredom and demands they skip straight to the pictures. Stan, hoping to find something interesting, flips to the photo spread. And that's when a heavy, awkward silence falls over the group. Kyle is the first to speak. He points at a black and white shot and slowly says, Guys, don't you think this looks kinda creepy? In the photo, Meghan's sitting on the floor, barefoot, legs crossed in a very specific way, hands posed just so in a deliberately relaxed way. The guys who, thanks to the internet, have seen it all, recognize the image right away. It's no random pose. It's an exact, almost eerie copy of famous pictures of Princess Diana. "This is total cosplay," Kyle bursts out. "Look at that head tilt, that 'I'm suffering but I'm strong' look. She literally dressed up as her husband's late mother." Cartman nods eagerly, pointing out it's not a one-time thing. The guys keep flipping, and the absurdity just keeps growing. On the next page, Meghan's in a trench coat, and it's pure Victoria Beckham. It's obvious to the boys. She doesn't have her own personality. "She's like an empty shell," Cartman says, tossing the magazine aside like it's contagious. "She tries on other women's personalities. Today she's Princess Diana, tomorrow Victoria Beckham. She's just a vacuum in designer clothes, desperately trying to fill the void with other people's images." The group agrees that this fashion tribute looks more like a scene from a bad psychological thriller. Next, Cartman grabs the magazine again, deciding to give the text one last shot, and immediately hits a paragraph that makes his narcissistic little heart skip a beat. It turns out Meghan decided to share something intimate about her marriage. But instead of the usual, "we love each other so much," she declares, "he loves me so boldly, fully. No one in the world loves me more than he does, so I know he's always going to make sure that he has my back." The guys instantly sense something off. Usually people talk about how much they love someone, but Meghan has this unique thing. She always just tells the world how much she is loved. In this interview, Harry isn't a husband. He's just her ultimate status symbol. Her words basically boil down to one thing: "Look how much he adores me." It doesn't sound like a love story, more like an ode to her own greatness. She once even thanked guests on her show specifically for loving her, and now she's gone even further, publicly appointing Prince Harry as her #1 fan. At this point, the magazine, luckily for everyone, gets tossed into the nearest trash can. Cartman announces he needs to eat immediately to stress-eat this trauma away, and that's where we leave you. If this made you smile, please like and subscribe. It really helps the channel grow. Here we tell the truth, even if it sounds like a cartoon. Do you agree with the guy's verdict, or did we miss something in this theater of the absurd? Let me know below. Bye, everyone.